Have you ever wondered what the difference is between someone who's mentally strong and someone who's not? In today's video, I'll be covering 10 things that mentally strong people don't do. Hi, this is SALIMAH of SALIMAH and if you're looking to build a life and business in alignment with your soul, then you're in the right place. Please subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you can be notified of videos I make every Wednesday. So, people who are really strong mentally tend to live a better life, because in this life, while we are on this earth, we will get lots of challenges. That's just how it is. We are here to learn and grow. Therefore, we'll always have challenges that come up in our lives. And if we don't know how to handle those, and if we get consumed by those, then our life, we would not experience the life that we are meant here to experience, which is blissful, enjoyable, loving, peaceful life. And it's important that we figure out how to deal with the challenges so we can live a better life. So in today's video, I wanted to cover 10 things that mentally strong people don't do. Number one is they don't have thoughts that are automatically going on in their heads that are negative. Meaning they know that they create the life they want. And by having negative thoughts that are just habitual and go on and on and on in your head, and you end up creating life that you don't want from those thoughts, because you create the life from your thoughts. And therefore, you have to stand guard at the thoughts that you're thinking and make sure that they are serving you and they're creating the life that you want from that. So mentally strong people are aware of the thoughts that they're thinking, and they're aware of the fact that they are creating the life they want. They don't allow the automatic negative thoughts to go on in their head without them taking charge of the thoughts. Also, what kind of inner speech they have, they don't allow the inner speech to be negative and not serve them. They make sure that what they say to themselves is positive and it is something that is serving them. Meaning they don't tell themselves, you're not good enough, you can't do this. They know that they have a life of infinite possibilities, and therefore they know that the inner speech is very important to make sure that you are talking yourself in the right way. Because if you're telling yourself you can't do this, you will literally not do that. So it's important that you realize that you're not talking to yourself negatively, and you're talking to yourself in a way that would serve and create what you want in your world. Because you don't talk to your friends and family that way. Why would you talk to yourself like that? So they don't talk to themselves negatively. They make sure that they are talking to themselves in a way that serves them. Number two, they don't live from the past. We don't drive our cars by looking at the back. We drive our cars looking forward. So in life, we have to live the same way. Things that happen in the past are in the past. You don't have control over those things anymore. You can't change those things. So there's no point in looking backwards and then driving and crashing, basically. So they don't look at the back window and drive the car. You look forward and you plan and you have goals and you have vision and you know your values, and this is how you live your life. You plan your life and you take action from that. Number three, they don't seek others' approval, because they know who they are and what they're here to do and what their purpose is. And even though somebody else may not understand what they're doing, they are pretty sure and they have 100% belief in themselves, and they know who they really are at the essence, that they are somebody that can create anything. Their life has infinite possibilities, so they don't seek others' approval. They know what they're doing, and even though somebody else may not understand, they are steadfast on that path and they know their purpose. The next thing, they don't doubt themselves, and they have boundaries for themselves, and they're very openly communicate about that boundary to other people. Because when you have boundaries, you have that self-love And self-love is extremely important for you to be able to fulfill your function. Because if you don't have boundaries and if you are getting drained energy-wise, and you will not be able to fulfill your purpose, which is why you're here to serve, grow. And if you get drained because you have no boundaries, you're saying yes to everybody, and you're constantly depleting yourself and compromising yourself because of others' needs, then eventually that catches up to you and you would not be able to fulfill your function, and you will get sick because you cannot serve anybody if you're not well. That's why they say put your oxygen mask rather on first before you can put the oxygen mask on your child, because if you are not able to breathe, then you can't help anybody else. So in the same way, if you're not setting boundaries for yourself, for your self-care, and for how others treat you and whether they respect you and whether they are treating you the way you deserve to be treated, then those people don't need to be in your life. And so it's important that you have the boundaries so you can practice self-love, self-care, and then you can serve in a bigger and better way. The next thing is they don't stick to their own perspective. They are open-minded to hear others' perspective, because we are here to grow, like I said. So if you hear a different perspective which serves you and serves your purpose, then you're open-minded to be able to take on a different perspective, and you are not fixated on the same mindset. You are growing and learning from others as well, so you have an open mind, and it's very important. Mentally strong people also don't bottle their emotions. They examine their emotions and they ask themselves, why was I triggered, and why am I feeling this way, and what is causing it, and they try to work on that, because that's how you heal yourself. Those emotions are coming up because they are telling you something about yourself, and the more you examine them, the more you figure out what's happening, the more answers you can get, and the more you make sure that you're not getting energies that are blocked within your body, which then will stop you from being aligned to your soul. So it's very important that you examine the emotions that are coming up, because they're coming up for a reason, for you to work on them and release them if they're not serving you. The next thing is they don't blame others for things in their life that happen that they don't like. They know that they're 100% responsible for their life, and they are creating their life. So if there's something that you don't like about your life, you can change it and try to examine what it is and figure out how you can live differently, so you can examine and you can accomplish whatever you want and have goals and work towards the results that you do want, and know that you are powerful and you're 100% responsible for your life. The next thing, they don't fixate on perfection. They simply trust and take action, and the action then gives them clarity, and then they listen for guidance to make sure that they're on the right path and they're going on the right way. So mentally strong people don't fixate on perfection. They take action and they learn and they move from there and they proceed. They don't worry about the competition, because they're here to cooperate with everybody, and they know that there's more than enough for everybody. There's abundance on this earth, so they don't worry about the competition. They are more into cooperation, because there is more than enough for everybody. We live in an abundant world, and abundance is our birthright. So there is no need to think that if someone has something that you can get it yourself. The next thing, they don't think that they are superior than anybody else, because we're all equal here. We're all here to serve our purpose, and nobody's superior. Everything that I can accomplish, anybody can accomplish. You just have to believe that yourself, and you have to realize who you really are and where you've come from, and you're powerful and you have infinite possibilities. So those are the 10 things that emotionally or mentally strong people don't do. Number 1, they don't have negative thoughts that are habitual and automatic. They don't live from the past. They don't seek others' approval. They don't doubt themselves and have boundaries. They don't stick to their own perspective. They are open-minded. They don't blame others for their issues in their life. They don't bottle the emotions. They actually examine them and work on them so they don't get stuck in their body. They don't fixate on perfection. They take action and then they learn from that. They look at failures as feedback and they look for clarity from the actions they take. They don't worry about the competition because they know there's more than enough for everybody here. If we live in an abundant world, then there's more than enough for everybody. So they cooperate rather than compete. And they know that there's a big piece of abundant pie that's there for everybody and it will never run out. And number 10, they don't want to be superior. They don't feel superior over anybody else. They know that everything that they can accomplish, somebody else can accomplish, because we are all the same. We all have God's power within us. It's whether we align to it and whether we exercise our thoughts and create the life that we want. So those are the 10 things. I hope this video served you. Please share it with anybody else who's struggling at the moment and needs to hear these things. Thank you for watching.